Hello, hello.
Hey.
Welcome back, y'all. I am your host, Shekinah, and I am so honored to have y'all back for another week of Let's Talk Sis. Hello, Sierra.
Hello. I'm so excited again to be here this week and every week. And I also want to make sure to tell you guys to make sure that you are liking, commenting, and subscribing so you can stay in tune with us because we be having some good conversations. Last
Listen,
week we had some real good conversations last week. So
we had big fun.
yeah, yes, we did. So just make sure y'all are staying in tune with us and keeping the conversations going. But yeah,
Yes.
I'm excited to be here, ready for another episode.
Every week that y'all come back, it's crazy. It's just every week that we come back. First of all, shout out to us for doing the damn thing. Shout out to us for consistency. Shout out to us for showing up. Okay. Because this is important. Are you saying you do it for the one?
No, I was toasting. This is
Oof.
yeah, that was
I done hit my head. It's wine. It's too much.
okay. It's a lot.
Okay. Let's toast to consistency. Cheers. We don't need to be toasting, apparently. No, I rearranged where I'm sitting, and I thought I was further away from my door than I obviously am. That's neither here nor there. But we are gonna get into our first segment, as we always do, as we always like to start off with a moment to get it off our chest, good, bad, or ugly. So, Sierra, we're going to start with you. This week, are you ranting or are you raving?
So I am going to be ranting today
Okay.
because I am a reader, right? So
Mhm.
I be on book talk, all of the things. So I
That's
love
good.
reading. Last year I think I read like 80 or 90 books. My goal was 100. I didn't make it.
Wow, that's
But
impressive.
anyway, well, thank you.
I don't
So
read
anyway, I
anything.
I saw this book. It's called Hold You Down by Tracy Brown on TikTok a
Mhm,
lot. And everybody told me that it was, or
mhm,
everybody said it was a sad book.
mhm.
I knew it was sad. And so I
Okay.
bought it. I didn't read it for months because I knew that I was like, this book is going to tear me up. So I just had to
Okay.
wait. I finally got into it and it's worse than what I thought.
Ah, Lord.
It was worse than what I thought. I've read some sad. I like sad books. I like because I like
Okay.
watching Lifetime. I like watching SVU. Like I like those kind of things. So like it's like sadness doesn't necessarily turn me away, but this
Okay.
book has nothing good in it. And when I say
Mm,
like not, I can't even think of one good thing that happened. And
just
it's like
all bad.
all bad. I don't want to read a book that's all bad. So
Yeah.
it got me in my feelings. Like it was just it was
Is it
sad.
based on a true story? Is it just fully fiction? Was she just
I
in her
don't
sad bag that day?
I don't know if it's based on a true story. It very well could be. It's about like it's during set in the time of like the early late 80s, early 90s when like the crack epidemic came about and just
Mm-hmm.
how that kind of destroyed families and
Mm-hmm.
how that kind of manifested itself. And it was just like it was like about these two boys, they were just dealt a bad hand and
Mm,
it never got better. And I was
yikes.
like, so there's
So
no
where are we going?
triumph. Yeah, there's no like,
Yes,
like,
most times you want some sort of like conclusion to
yeah,
some
no.
victory, some
I'm like, is there a part two?
understanding.
I don't even want a part two. I would never read
Yeah.
this book again. I'm sorry. I
It's
would,
giving I'm done.
and I love Tracy Brown. And the book it was
Well,
written well, it just wasn't for me. So
well, maybe it's not everything ain't for everybody. That's what they say. So, thank you for sharing that
yeah.
for our listeners who probably don't love sad books too much. Don't believe it. I mean, don't go for it. Sierra did it. Sierra
Don't
tried it, so you don't
yeah.
have to.
I thought they were just like, because people are like trigger warning, and I'm like, those books interest me.
Well,
So I'm
they
like,
tr- whoa, we need to explore that first of all. But
what do you mean?
she said trigger warning, trigger warning.
Oh,
Well, I
they put
wanna
trigger warning on all kind of books. If there's like sexual assault,
mm,
if those things are talked
I
about in the
got
book,
you.
yeah, they want to, tell people. I'm like, once I see trigger warning,
That
sign
means it's gonna
me
be
up.
juicy.
Hmm.
What is your reading goal for this year? Do you have
I need to set one because my my brain needed
Right.
a reset. I will tell you, I'm not doing so hot this year. I'm only at 26.
Okay.
It's and it's we're almost halfway through the year. So if I get 50 this year, I'm good.
Well,
The
that's
year
26 more than me, friend. So I've read the first 3 chapters of like almost every book I have.
really. Yep, so this is my third
I was
year.
about to say, really?
This is my third year actually keeping track. So the first year I read 50,
Mm.
last year I read 80, this year I'm at 26.
Okay. Well, we still got a lot of months in a year. So you
We'll
never know.
see. And I'm off this summer, so I'm sure I'll rack up some in the summer.
Okay. That's cute. That's
What are
cute.
you gonna do now that I've talked the ear off?
I am going to rave, I guess. I'm gonna
Okay.
rave because my hair came out cute. My hair came out cute.
It did.
I cut some little curtain bangs
Oh,
and
you
I'm
cut it
like,
yourself?
mhm,
Yes.
mhm. I used to wear, I've worn curtain bangs before. So it's
Mhm.
giving very much kind of 2016,
Mm.
2012-ish.
Mm.
I've been in the wig game for a minute.
Mhm.
So I seen Tamar Braxton, and she notoriously wears curtain bangs. Like that's her thing. Like she's worn them for a while, and they look really cute. And I was like, oh, I used to wear that style. Let me try that again. And so I just took kind of an old wig, and I was worried about the fact that it's a center part already. So like, how's that gonna work? But it actually kind of works in my favor because if I wanted to do a little something like that, I could. But
Mhm. Mhm.
they're cute. I just got to get used to this little tickly on my forehead. But
But yes, it is very cute.
thank you.
Yes, and yes, doing it yourself, DIY queen.
Listen,
Don't you
listen.
feel so empowered when you can do your own hair or like do your own I know we've done our own nails and stuff. But to me, it just feels so empowering. Like, what can't I do? You
It does until I don't feel like doing it anymore.
know?
And the
Mhm.
moment it needs to be done. And then it's
I wish somebody else could just do
like I
it.
don't be, so I tried this whole thing of like trying to embrace my natural hair and
Mhm.
wearing my natural hair every day until I fell in love with it, right? And
Mhm.
I don't think I don't love my natural hair, but at the end of the day, I'm not gonna lie, it doesn't always make me feel like a baddie. It doesn't always make me feel to my fully max potential, and mostly because of the work I have to do to get it there. Not
It's
because it can't be cutest, you know, but because I have to spend hours hoping the style.
hoping. Heavy on the hoping.
I did this in 15 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So, that's just, and then I can take it off. My scalp, I have access to it. I can grease it.
Mhm.
I don't have to detangle every time I want to think about doing something. So I don't know. Maybe once, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just for me, I like a mixture of both. I like
Yes.
my natural hair sometimes.
Yeah.
I like other protective styles and wigs and that's what I'm trying to do. I did a lot with my natural hair, and so now I'm like, I want to learn how to do more wigs and
Mm-hmm.
quick weaves and sew-ins and because
Mm-hmm.
I do the braids and the twists, but I'm like, I want some,
Mm-hmm.
stepping in different.
Yeah. And
Versatile in that way.
I think the empowerment is the fact that
Mhm.
I have the option.
Yeah.
Like Daniel's joke before, like, what if your wig fell off, or whatever. And I'm like, well, it's cool. I got a head full of hair
I'll
up
unbraid
under
it,
here.
braid this,
Okay.
stuff this up, swoop them edges, and I got a whole style.
I've literally done that. I've literally done that.
Literally,
My
absolutely.
wig ain't giving what I needed to do. Took my wig braids out. It was giving cute little braid out. I put 2 braids right here. Poop, poop.
But
And
as Black women, we
correct.
can do that.
Correct. That's the
We can do
magic.
that.
I could look like a girl on your thing in 2 minutes. The curtain behind you, if
Okay.
you wanted to, and
Oh,
come
yeah.
right back looking
No,
like this.
literally.
That's what I look like this morning, actually.
And then never know.
No lie.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. So enough of us. We're gonna get into these timeline streets, and this is it's a funny topic. I wanted to talk about it because if there's anything, if you know anything about C Mills, aka Sierra, aka CC Miller, you know that she love her some Chris Brown, okay? Down to the
My
bone.
man, my man, my man.
Down to the bone, as the queen would say. So I wanted to talk about Chris Brown's recent beef, okay, with your boy Quavo. So I was scrolling through my timeline, and I'm sure everybody can see it on their timeline. It's tons of commentary about the beef that has come about with Chris Brown and Quavo. I'm gonna ask you like what had happened, but I'm gonna play the little snippet first, and then we're gonna get into it.
Mm-hmm.
What you just said, R.I.P. take off, he the only real one that got true respect. Crazy how when he died, everybody really wished it was you instead. Oh, shit. You trippin', Chris, don't say that, don't lose your head. You done turned a big bad wolf on these fuck niggas, never knew revenge. This what happens when a fuck nigga push a real nigga out to the edge. This what happens when a dumb nigga get fame and it get to his head. You gon' kiss this ring, nigga, big fuck you from my middle finger. I tattoo my trigger finger, bring real beat to your dinner table. My mental state ain't never stable, I know this shit gon' sting, nigga. I ran your ass through the ringer, nigga, you just got body by a singing nigga. Bitch. Who wants smoke with me? Who wants smoke with me? Who wants smoke with me?
Who wants smoke with me?
C?
Who wants smoke with C?
Okay, I thought that part was who wants smoke with C. Okay. Oh
shit.
Okay.
They said.
Well, first let's address the fact that people were saying they didn't know Chris Brown could rap.
Chris Brown can do everything.
Like, come on now. And
Chris Brown can literally literally he can do everything.
Like, that is ridiculous. It's crazy how multi-talented that
no,
man
it's
is.
insane. Everything well. Also, let me add that.
Yeah. He's not just trying these things. No, and not even people don't even think about the fact that he's a literal artist.
That too.
Literal artist. He has
That too.
His home is all of his murals.
That too.
Okay. But yeah, so a lot of people
he sing, he rap, he play basketball, he dance, he could probably cook if he wanted to. He's probably a fashion designer in some respects. Like, this man is talented.
So yeah, so I don't know why people were saying that, because you can look at me now. When he dissed Drake back in the day, like, y'all knew Chris Brown could rap. Cut it out.
Okay.
Second of all, so this I guess started because Quavo slept with Karuchi. Now everybody knows Chris is a little loose in the head about Karuchi. Still. So do I think that so apparently Quavo and Chris Brown were friends back in the day. Okay. And then so he didn't sleep with her while they were together. He just slept with her, years later. But he's saying, as my friend,
right.
I really love this girl.
Right.
I shouted her out in songs. I've been popping up out in bushes and all kinds of, I love this girl. Why would you go sleep with her?
She's top two, not to.
Absolutely. So Chris Brown has been on Quavo's head for years. Calling him, he's been calling him out in basketball, calling him out in dance challenges, calling him out in.
Can Quavo dance?
I don't know. I think they could. The Migos used to dance, didn't they?
I don't know.
Or was that just Offset? I know Offset can dance.
I mean, I know Offset can dance, but I don't know. So what made Chris Brown put it in the song? Today was just today, or
that's so I don't know what actually
incited the beef.
Yeah, I don't know what prompted, if he just found out about. I don't know what actually prompted the song to come out. But I do know the beef started because Quavo slept with Karuchi. Now, for him to go and sleep with Saweetie while they are together. That is like the ultimate get back.
I mean, wait, why? So that's why. Sorry, I don't know, but that's why him and Saweetie broke up. Saweetie and
Quavo found this out on this song. He had slept with Saweetie. They've been broken up for quite some time now.
Yeah.
At least a year or so.
Yeah. At least.
So Chris kept that information to himself until this song aired. And Saweetie has said not a thing about it. The only thing she said is Quavo responded to Chris Brown's diss. Trash. And
It
says it was trash. And he said something to the effects of like, Saweetie's not that, that girl. I could turn any model into her.
Uh-huh.
So she responded. The only response she's had is she posted a DM of him trying to get back with her or something in January or something. And she's like, basically,
they always come back.
Yeah. And basically she's like, I thought you could turn any model into me or whatever. But it's like, so you did sleep with?
So cause she can respond to what she wants to. And she know what's going on.
She slept with that man. And he made it very clear, like the metaphors that he used, about 5 metaphors to make it clear that he was talking about Saweetie. And so it's good, in my opinion. It was a good get back on his end, but Saweetie is dead wrong. She's dead wrong.
I mean, how Saweetie get in it?
So he said
she had nothing to do with the be between y'all, Chris.
Huh?
How?
Because how you gonna sleep with this man? You know this man don't like your boyfriend, and you gonna go sleep with him?
Okay, but why did you have to put that in the song? Because what? That
was his. If you know, say like your relationship. Now I'm just using this as an example. You know there's somebody that hates Daniel. You cheat on Daniel with him. You think he ain't put that in the song? You knew what was gonna happen. I only did this to have something to get back.
To have ammunition to get back.
Yeah, and you gave it to me. You handed it to me on a platter. You said,
leave me out of y'all mess. No,
you slept with his eye.
That's the problem. See, that's why we have to say protect Black women. See, because we just want to live our life and mind our business, and if we get a little something, we get a little something. But you don't have to put the something in the music.
Yeah, I slept with you to get to your boyfriend. You let me, and that's why I'm putting it on blast.
You wasn't supposed to say nothing.
That was my get back.
But you wasn't supposed to.
I just embarrassed this man in front of the whole world. You think I'm not gonna use that?
You had enough to. You had enough. You didn't have to say that. I don't know. I'm just sticking up for my fellow Cancer.
Who, Saweetie? She's dead wrong. You don't sleep with the.
She's wrong. But
in my
somebody
mind,
gotta have her back.
No, she didn't have her own back. No. You were wrong. You don't sleep with. First of all, you cheated on Quavo. Second of all, you cheat on him.
And you think Quavo didn't cheated on her?
Absolutely.
Like she probably cheated with who she cheated it with because he had been cheated in.
Okay, and so
now I'm finna do the ultimate cheating.
And so don't be mad when it gets put
I ain't wrong.
Don't be mad when it gets put on blast that you was popping that coochie for the op. And the op put you in the song.
The op, really? What are we in the gang? What is Chris? Like, you just don't like him because you did some foul stuff to him. He's not really a bad person. This is what Sweetie is saying.
But if that's your man, you got to go with your man.
Do you? Sometimes your man be wrong. That just be prideful for no reason.
That don't mean you get to sleep with the man that's trying to beat him up and everything. No, calling him out on the internet.
Listen, her sleeping with Chris would not have did that this one way or the other. He could have kept that out.
No, that is what made absolutely.
When kept I heard this,
like he said, yeah, you had sex with my girl, but I bitch when you was with her, nigga. Nice try, ho. You thought you had her.
I don't know. This is truly what's called devil's advocate. I'm just talking.
There is no. Saweetie's wrong. Sorry. You
sorry. I ain't sorry.
Would I pass up having sex with Chris Brown? No.
Okay, so
no. But you got to know that that's being put on blast. And if you say you love this man, you gonna put that. To me, that shows her character. You will betray your man with somebody who hates him.
Or it shows you how badly she was hurt.
She wasn't hurt that bad, or she would have left.
Christina left. Christina. Sweetie.
Especially because that would have been the ultimate get back, to break up with him and then go be with Chris.
No, she had to hurt him more than he hurt her. So
But he didn't know that
she
until
had to
Chris
sleep with the one person she knew would
But he
grind
didn't
his
know that
gears.
until Chris.
No, but she's also petty cancer, so she probably also was very much so okay with Chris putting this in the South.
Yeah. Hey, we're not together no more.
Finally,
but,
you know.
Okay. But finally. For future relationships, I would be looking at her like,
well,
you asleep with a nigga. You don't do anything.
I mean, is that really doing anything? It gets worse, Kiara. Come on, you're being a little dramatic here.
No, if you go out and sleep with somebody you know does not like me and wants to cause harm to me.
Okay, hold on. Now hold on. He wants to cause harm to him.
Yes. Yes, they have talked about fighting and shooting and everything.
Okay. I didn't know all that. See, I didn't know all that. I just thought he didn't like him because
no. When I tell you, Chris been calling this man out, calling this man a bitch ass nigga on come out bit like, no. He been taunting this man, making a fool of him, and then you go sleep with him to make a fool.
All right. You make him a fool. All right. Well, either way, back to the men's. Back to the men's, because this is a platform for Black women. Okay.
Yeah. So, but we got to call
us. Did what she needed to do.
No, we got to hold our sisters accountable. We got to hold our sisters accountable.
Okay, drop down in the comments. Are you Team Saweetie or Team Ciara?
You got to hold our sisters accountable.
Okay, account for this.
Just kidding. Account for this.
Okay, account for that. What is our Let's Talk topic for the week? You said you had something you want to talk about. So tell us what's on your mind, friend. What do we want to talk about?
This kind of segues right into holding accountable. Okay. So I saw this video on TikTok, and it was a group of people having a discussion about whether or not it was more so women. I'm not sure how men navigate this. This will be actually a good conversation. I'm sure men probably don't even know how to help themselves anyway. But they were having a conversation about, as women, if you don't like your friend's man or your friend's boyfriend, do you say that? Do you keep that to yourself? What are the boundaries regarding that? One take was that basically that's not her business. That's not her place to say, she doesn't like your man. That's, your man, your relationship. The other one was saying, well, if I feel some type of way, or I feel I'm not somebody who can hold stuff on my chest, if I feel a way, I gotta, whether what you do with it is what you do with it, but I gotta at least say something. So my question to you is, how do you feel about that? What's your take on, say your friend is in like a toxic relationship.
Yeah.
She's coming to you, telling you these things that this man is doing to her. She's not really ready to leave. How do we navigate that?
So old me would have told her what I would do, right? Old me would be like, you need to leave this nigga alone. Yeah, I know you love him, but you could do so much better. You're so smart. You're so talented. You have all these things working for you. You need to find somebody new. That's what I would have done, right? But I've learned that's not necessarily being a friend. And the best way to be a friend, from my experience, is to support your friend in what they need. And yeah, you can remind them of their strength, their power, their value, their worth. But until you've lived an experience where your value and self-worth has diminished to the fact that you accept that type of disrespect, that type of toxicity, is really not much anybody else can say to make you be like, oh no, I don't deserve this, right? So, you have to get that revelation for yourself. So in this season, I would try my best to be supportive, right? And if they're coming to me, they're complaining, I would ask them, okay, well, what do you need from me? right? What do you need from me? Are you telling me this? Because sometimes people are telling you because they don't know how to ask for help. They don't know how to say, I want to get out, but I can't. Are you telling me this because you want me to help you? Do you want to hear what I think? Do you want me to just be here for you? Do you want me to talk shit about this nigga with you? Do you want to just vent, let it out, and move on? Do you want to just laugh? And when you show up like that, you allow that person to lead, and you are a friend and you're supporting them. Now, if any of those things become compromising to your values and your safety, that's a different conversation, and you have to address that. Hey, you want me to come over and hang out with you, but your nigga come in here and he get to throwing shit, and I'm not trying to get hit by none of that. And I want to be your friend and I want to support you, but this is not safe for me or for you. And so this is how I can support you, right? This is why we could FaceTime all day. If you're not ready to leave him, right? If you're not ready to exit left on this situation, I want to be your friend. And you said you want me to come over. That's how you want me to support you, but I'm not gonna get hit with no shoe. So, so that's a different story. But long answer, that's kind of what I would do in that kind of situation.
Okay, that's good. So you're actually helping me a little bit because I kind of have an experience with this, or I'm experiencing this currently.
Mm.
And it's hard for me because I feel like with this situation, it's something that we've already kind of went through in the past and it's manifesting itself again.
Mm.
And so it's just like I have a hard time, and because that I do have that experience of feeling so low and allowing somebody to um mistreat me in that way, I have a level of understanding, but then at the same time it's like, where do I create my boundaries to? Do I just watch my friend be hurt? Do I just watch my friend, complain about these things that, I know are wrong, but
Mm.
it's just such a fine line to walk into, because I said this to my other friend, like, to me it's frustrating because it's like I don't want to see my friend be hurt. I don't want
Right.
to watch my friend be controlled, or watch my friend be, just belittled, or whatever the case may be, whatever. But at the same time, so it's like I kind of, I didn't necessarily distance myself. She kind of distanced herself,
Mm-hmm.
uh, which tends to happen when you are going through, that kind of situation. You
Mm-hmm.
you tend to isolate yourself because in your mind, that something's
Yeah,
not right, and
yeah.
yeah, and so it's like the fine line that I'm walking, or that I'm trying to figure out, is how do I then, welcome you, not necessarily because it sounds bad, welcome you back with open
Mm-hmm.
arms, but it's like it's just such a I don't know, it's just such a fine line. Do I be me who I am? I'm like the girl who, if I feel some type of way, I can't just not say it. I can't just, you're
Sure.
coming over here, or you're telling me this man is being mean to you, or you're telling me this man is,
Mm-hmm.
mistreating you, or these things are happening. And
Mm-hmm.
it's hard for me to just be like, I've never, so when I say you're helping me, when you say, well, how can I help you in this situation? Because in me, I'm always going to be, I've kind of shied away from telling you what to do, but I also tell you how I feel. Like, he shouldn't
Mm-hmm.
be speaking to you like that. You wouldn't, especially when they have children. I'm like, I give them the scenario, say somebody talk to your child like this. So I just try and put it in different perspectives, but I do know that, nobody's going to leave until they have enough. But it's like,
Mm-hmm.
do I enable it? Do I, allow, not
Yeah.
enable it? I don't
I
know.
mean, I don't think, and yeah, I'm not clinically whatever, but I don't feel it's enabling unless, you're willingly aiding in the bad behavior, right? And I think there's something to be said for having a conversation, and you can draw that clear boundary, like, hey, when you're talking to me about, oh boy, and all of these things that are going on, I want you to know that it's very hard for me to watch you go through these things because I feel X, Y, and Z. However, right, I have a hard time um l- taking such a passive approach, right? Because I know you deserve better. right? And maybe you have to say to that friend, when it comes to these things, I'm just not probably the person to talk to about it. And you have to be okay with that. Because with that being said, if you think back to that situation in your life and that time in your life, well, fuck you, because that's what's happening in my life, and you know what I'm saying. So therefore, I guess we ain't finna talk, because that's all I got going on. And so you got to be comfortable with, okay, if I can't put my judgments, my pride, my contentious thoughts about it, right, my self-worth and realization, actualization aside, and again, how can I be there for you? Then, right, we will have to draw a boundary. We can only go to Starbucks, and we can only, watch a movie together. We can't talk about that. We have to draw that line in the sand. And that's something that y'all both parties just are going to have to accept. Certain friends you can call and you can complain to your nigga about, and they'll probably complain right back about how they do ain't either, and y'all can go on like that for hours. Certain friends you can't do that with. They're going to call you higher. They're going to require more. And if you're that friend, you just got to be that friend.
And so I think that's where I'm finding out that I am that friend that will, I want to call you higher, but I also don't, I don't want to come off as judgmental or that I don't understand. So it's definitely, a fine line that I'm kind of learning and just allowing, that other person to kind of lead. And I just kind of, follow the lead, and I don't try and put too much expectation or too much, because I know for me in friendships, I know how I'm not a low maintenance friend. So when things like that happen, it's like, to me, to become a low maintenance friend, or to be, to fall back a little bit, and like, that's harder for me, which, like you said, is that pride and that, judgment or whatever. I don't know. So that's something that I have to work on and allow them, because I want, I don't want want her to feel like, if, things, I don't want her to feel like she can't come to me if things get so bad, or even if they do, things don't end up working out. And
I would say because I hear you speaking, and it sounds like you're judging her, right? Like, I wouldn't become a low maintenance friend, implying to accept that and to be there is low maintenance, right? And I would encourage you to maybe be curious.
Well, I meant,
to not say anything and to like just kind of hold your opinion back. Right.
That's where I mean by the low maintenance, where the we just go to Starbucks, and we go from having a full-blown friendship to where we talk about everything, we're in each other's lives, we're in each other's children's lives, or to go to just acquaintances. It's hard for me. To me, that's more, I'd rather, like you said, I am curious, I'd rather talk about it, but I know for me, I can't do that, because I'm like, okay, we talked, I'm curious what's going on. Okay, so what are we gonna do about it?
And I would say the curiosity may be to understand her more. So he said this to me and I can't believe it, or okay, what about, and I would say to her, well, why does he feel comfortable saying that to you? Well, I don't know, and challenge her, right? To get to those thought processes of self accountability, and not that it's her fault, right? But when men disrespect you and when they cross those boundaries, it's because you allow it, right? And it's because something in you is saying this is okay for you to do to me, whether you've said it outright or whether you didn't check it to begin with. And as a friend, there are ways to be kind and know your friend, and maybe you could be a little more straightforward, or maybe you can't, but to know your friend and curious of getting inside of her head, like, well, how did you not see that? Or why wasn't that a problem for you? Or why did you tell him these things that you're telling me? Challenge her in that way. So then maybe it still satisfies your solution base because you're making progress in the situation, right? She's becoming to understand herself, and maybe you get to learn something about her that maybe you didn't know, and can find some compassion and grace and now knowing, and still feel like, okay, we're moving the needle in this conversation, because I've had a friend in that toxic relationship and it was always negative. And she kind of told me, I don't want to tell you anything because you always got something to say. You know what I mean? You always, I'm a pusher, Katie. I push.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
and this is true. This is very much true about me. So I am just trying myself to, okay, do you want me to just listen to you right now? Can I tell you what I would do? Can I tell you what I think? I'm struggling right now because I don't like what I'm hearing, and I don't want you to feel like you can't share with me. So is it okay if and that is what I would have liked from a friend also, and where I could have done better, as a friend in those kind of tumultuous situations, because we can be so headstrong, and this is what I would do, but like, girl, you haven't lived her life, you haven't walked a day in her shoes, and it's easy, quote unquote, for you to say that because you've gone through your journey, and they have to go through theirs. So
Yeah, it's definitely it's a fine line to walk, and
yeah.
it's like, I don't know. I don't know. But it's definitely, you've given me some things to think about on how to
Yeah.
approach the situation. My thing is, after a while, it becomes, I can't keep having the same.
Yes, and you can say that, and that's okay.
Yeah. So I think that's where it's just like, I pray for you and I love you from a distance.
Yeah, and you can have that conversation, and she should hopefully receive it. I know it would be tough. And I think about that. Like, I wonder too, because what is that like for somebody to say, hey, you can't really talk to me about these things anymore? Because on one hand, like, I do have to respect that. It's kind of like that whole you can't bleed on your friends thing. Like, I have to respect that, I got some healing. I have some trauma, some thoughts that I need to come to, right? And I can't expect necessarily that you're going to go along with it. I don't know. I don't know. But see a therapist.
You need to pay a therapist.
Yeah, that's true.
And
And self-preservation, yeah.
You need to pay a therapist. I'm sorry. I'm not your therapist, because especially for me, I think it's harder because I am a social worker. So I deal with all of these emotions and I deal with people dumping on me. So for me, that's a lot.
Yeah.
You need to pay. I'm not saying I'm not willing to have those conversations, but it's
Right.
not going to be, girl, he did this today and he did.
Because it's one thing when you can tell that the person is trying to come out of it, or trying to make better, or realizing something is off and maybe they just don't get it. Like, that's a different space to be in than just complaining about your man all the time.
That is true.
Like, if because there's one way to receive, well, why did you think that was okay? And if they are all, I don't know, I never thought about that. Well, I guess it's because, and they're willing to kind of go down that rabbit hole versus, well, because he, and it's somebody else's fault and something else going on. You can tell when they're actually like trying to do something different versus they just want to complain all day. And I can't get with the complaining all day.
No, I cannot. And yeah, I can't. It's just no.
Okay,
But
so let me ask you this. What's something after today's conversation that you could maybe do differently or do better when communicating with this friend, or at least try before you completely just be like, okay, girl, we can just go to Starbucks?
well, I think we're already at the Starbucks place. But but I think I can do, and that's not my doing. That's more so, like I said, her doing, which I think it's because
what was her doing? Like, what do you mean?
she's kind of, since I've found out how toxic the relationship really is, she's kind of stepped back. it's like maybe she doesn't want me to know she is protecting her, toxic relationship. And it's like,
Is it because she knows you're going to judge her?
it could be, just being honest, it could be because of the fact that when I say that we've gone through this situation, me and this friend have gone through this situation prior. So for you to put yourself back in this situation, to me, is kind of like, but I haven't approached it that way. We've had, like, I've always, still been there for her, but I think she knows, not even necessarily judge her, but she knows it's wrong. And she knows that I would say something about it.
So what, and then I'm not asking out of judgment.
No, but these are good for me to.
What makes her worthy or not worthy of being your friend anymore? What about, have you addressed the pulling away with her?
Mm-hmm.
And what did she say?
It wasn't addressed. It was.
Oh, you was left on red?
Basically it was, she got upset with me because somebody passed away in her family, and by this time she had stopped talking to me. And so somebody passed away in her family, and I didn't reach out in the time frame that she would have wanted me to. So she was upset about that. And I had reached out to her a couple times after that and received no response. So that I'm like, so what's going on? And that's when she told me that, about the family member, that, so I apologized for that or whatever. And I said, however, being that you have back for me, I don't necessarily know what to communicate with you about, these things. So I've mentioned the fact, I'm like, since, whatever happened or whatever, we haven't really spoken. You don't speak to me anymore. I'm not necessarily a part of your children's lives anymore, these type of things. And it was just like, so this was all in the same message. I apologize for not reaching out, in the time frame. However, this is kind of why, what's been going on. We haven't really talked much. I didn't, you've kind of pulled back from me. I appreciate your apology, and I could have reached out more.
That's how she said.
That was that.
Well, so, I mean, I guess you decide first things first, is the friendship worth it?
And to me it is. So that's why I've kind of just, at this point, what I am doing is I've stepped back, and once she's ready to have a conversation, or, once not necessarily, and I don't want to go too much into it because I don't think he's a bad person. So it's not like I'm waiting, because I was going to say, once, the relationship ends, I'm, here for you with open arms. I'm not necessarily wishing that.
Right.
Whatever the outcome, I'm always here for you when you're ready to talk to me. I'm not. So that's my hard part, is being that I feel, and I know this, but I have to get out of the offense that you're now taking this out on me, or you're now, I don't know, our friendship is being affected by this relationship in your life. And so then it's like, so then when some, if, say, God forbid, they do break up or whatever the case, and then I just welcome you back, it's just like, you okay with just tossing me to the, but I have to think that this is her mind. She's not in a healthy relationship. She's not in a healthy mindset. So she's not thinking in the healthy way that I am thinking of, this way. So I have to put myself back in that mindset that I was in when I wasn't in a healthy relationship and I wasn't in a healthy mindset. And who cared about these friendships? I'm with my man and I'm trying to figure this out. So I have to learn to not take it personally and not judge. So that's something that I am working on.
The words right out of my mouth. Yeah.
But I also,
since you're reading books and you want to read a book, and you can read a million books, you can read this book in a day. It is called The 4 Agreements. I implore you to read it today, yesterday, if you could have. And it will probably change a lot. And the first thing, I don't know if it's the first thing, but one of the 4 agreements is never take anything personal. Never take anything personal. And it's hard. AF, right? Because it's a personal relationship. That's your girl, you
Mhm.
know, y'all have personal connections. But again, when you're not in a proper headspace and when your heart and your mind are warring, you're going to go with whatever situation doesn't cause any more of that. Whomever isn't going to come in here and tell me more of what I already know.
Yeah.
What I actually want is you just to be here for me. And that's really what we want our friends to do, right? We just want our friends to just kind of like be there. She know that you know is wrong. You
Mhm.
ain't got to tell her, right? You don't have to tell her. You want to tell her, but you don't have to tell her. And if she wanted you to tell her, she would ask you, "Hey, Sierra, what you think?" You
Yeah,
know? And that's hard pill for us to swallow.
it is.
And I have to deal with that even in my own relationship. Like he'll be telling me things and it's so easy, especially when you care for them, to jump to what's a solution. How can
Mhm.
you help? What can we do to get it done? But sometimes that's not what people need. We are disrespecting the process that God is putting them through because we're not allowing them to go through the process. And Yama told me this too, you know, like we always want to offer a solution. We always want to offer a solution, but really what we need to just offer is support. How can I support you right now? And if maybe that means we read the Bible when we get together, maybe that means we watch the Real Housewives and drink wine because you need to relax your mind and you don't want to think about it. You don't want to feel judged because you're already judging yourself. So it's hard to do. But first, you know, once you decide if it's worth it, then, you know, just like we talked about last week, lead with that soft emotion. Assume she has the best intentions. Be kind. Be honest, right? But all of these tools come into
I think I
play.
need therapy.
Yes. Oh, yes. We
This
all
time.
need
And
therapy. It's a
I say that, but
lot.
I've been saying that. I've been saying that I need to go to therapy because as I get older, I learn more, about myself and
Yeah.
more the work that
Aw.
needs to be done.
Girl, it's hard out here in these streets. And trust me, y'all, when I say that I don't I try not to ever speak from a place or things that I've not
Mhm.
worked out. And if I haven't worked it out, I share with y'all that I'm working it out.
Mhm.
And so this whole communication thing, right? This being in relationship thing, this committed thing with people thing, right? Because with God, we know what he got going on. It's in the book.
Mhm.
He is true. His word is honest. It's there. It's boom, 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 black and white, a little bit of red when Jesus get to talking. But you know, we know what it is, and we know what
Uh-huh.
to expect. If we got the fact check, we can go back to that book.
Okay, period.
Okay, but with people, with man, it's ever changing and things are different and we are not perfect and they are not perfect and then we trying to put these imperfections together with these expectations of perfection and it's hard. It's a human thing. So
Y'all out here trying to make it.
we support you, Sierra. Let me know how I can be here for you, girl, okay? Because I got you. It'll all work itself out, I promise. And
Child, child.
what do the people need to know before we get off the line?
Um, Start doing some self-checks.
Mm,
When you always think it's somebody else, start doing some self-checks. Where
mm,
can I, and that's something I'm also learning about in church too. Like, what
mm.
in this situation was I a part of? Because a lot of times we always can see everybody else, but or a lot of times in the God or Christian aspect, we talk about, my life is so, where is God? God is like, you put yourself in that situation. Now you
Okay.
want me to come get you out. So a lot of times,
Yeah.
we always can see other people's faults or whatever, but
Yeah.
and take some time to reflect on you.
I love that. I love that. Yes. Look inward. Look at the woman, the black woman in the mirror. Okay.
The mirror.
We're gonna put that on the shirt too. Looking at the black woman in the mirror.
Period. Okay.
All right, y'all. We love y'all. We hope y'all got something. We know y'all got something. This was such a good conversation, and we love when we can just, be honest and open and vulnerable in front of y'all, and have work these things out as we go. And if y'all made it this far, be sure to send this podcast to your aunties, your uncles, your sisters, your cousins, your brothers, your mothers, anybody you know that has a relationship with a friend and that could benefit from this. So thank y'all for listening. We will see y'all next week. Bye.
Bye.